talk to you guys about that zombie video I was telling you about on a previous video, since I'm driving and I got time. So basically, I quickly realized once I went over all the material that there was no way I could be able to cover in depth all that material in one video. I mean, it would basically be practically half an hour long, maybe more. So I'm going to break it up into several videos. It's going to be a video series, and that way I can cover each topic in somewhat depth. I have a blog on my website that you guys can check out. I'll put the link on the video. That way you guys can read it if you missed anything. I mean, of course, you could always play back the video whenever you want to, but I may not cover everything in the video, where I do cover in greater detail in the blog about things you can do, things that make you think about how to prep, what kind of supplies to get, what kind of tactics you're going to use against not the living dead, but people that would basically get a virus that is somewhat similar to like rabies, or something that people would definitely think of as zombie-like behavior. And that's just really what's out there that's realistic. So and it's definitely possible, and so that's part of it. So the first thing, like I said before, I double checked the CDC website to see they actually still have the zombie preparedness. It basically is emergency preparedness, and then it shows zombies, and it talks about in several different ways of bringing it into the schools to teach kids on being prepared for emergencies. They have like pamphlets, they have posters, they have school activities such as making a poster and drawing and stuff like that. So it's actually pretty interesting, just because the zombie hype is just so big, and you got all these movies out there that are actually really entertaining to watch, and then you have some of the TV shows like The Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead, which, by the way, I'm a big fan of those shows. They're just fun to watch, and you know, it turns into something that a lot of people I don't think realize what could happen in those type of shows, where zombies end up turning into being more like background noise, and the real struggle turns into dealing with other people that want to take your stuff or are trying to survive. So it definitely puts a turn or a twist on what you see in normal movies, where everybody's scrambling and you're just trying to survive, and then that's it. It's supposedly it's you know, over, or it keeps going, but they don't show you what really happens at the end and in the long haul of things. So so yeah, being prepared for anything, any kind of natural disaster is something you want to do. And one of the things to compare it to is the Ebola virus outbreak in Africa. It was something that the World Health Organization tried to control. Ebola has been out for a while, but it didn't actually start spreading out of control until a couple of years back. And when they got a fix on it, you had tons of resources, you had tons of people and doctors trying to contain it, and it still took them 2 years before it settled down. And you know, technically it's not gone, it's still there, and it can still outbreak again, but that was 2 years for a small area. Now, if you're going to compare that to the world, or an entire continent that's infected with a zombie virus type illness that makes people go crazy and attack other people, well, now it's going to spread even faster, because most people who get sick, that you get the flu, you call out sick at work, you stay home, and you have minimal contact. If you do go to work anyways, and not everyone gets sick. With a zombie virus type thing, you're attacking everybody, so the spread is exponentially quicker, way more dangerous, and to control that, there is no controlling that. Everyone's going to be running around with chickens with their heads cut off. So you can imagine how long that's going to take to control. You almost can't control it. You almost have to just let it run its course until there are no more people to infect, or the people that are infected and pass and die aren't attacking people anymore, so that the people that have survived can then start rebuilding. So that could be, that technically is like a world-ending, you know, extinction level type situation, which is pretty crazy. So how long are you supposed to have supplies for? Well, that's the whole trick right there. You got to have supplies as long as you can, what's affordable for you, you know, and then also what is feasibly possible for you, as well as affordable. So it's not like you can keep, you know, a tanker ship of water and food and supplies somewhere. It's just not possible for anybody to really do that. So you have to have at least some supplies, and then you got to figure out if you're going to bug in, stay hunkered down in wherever you are, or are you going to bug out. Most of the time it's probably safer to bug in unless you're forced to bug out. And so you got to plan for both, and you also have to plan for it's a good idea to plan with other people, so you have a rally point to band together and then take care of each other. And so if you can get your own neighbors and community involved into an emergency preparedness plan, it doesn't have to be about zombies, it can be anything. So if you have a rally point, most people for like regular stuff would go to family, because that's just the way it is. Like in the last fires we had, we stayed at my cousin's house for a couple of days when we were forced to evacuate here in San Diego. So that's what we did. It was no big deal. And we evacuated, and luckily the fires didn't actually get even that close to our area, where the neighborhood south of us, Rancho Bernardo, basically a lot of people lost a lot of homes there. So so most people just, you know, they'll go to a hotel, they'll go to family, they might go to a neighbor's, but if you're evacuating an entire area, your neighbors, they're gonna have to evacuate too, so there's no doing that with your neighbors. So, but if you can create a rally point where you guys can come together and hunker down together, and then support each other, survive together, that kind of thing, your chances of survival are way better than by yourself or just your family, that kind of thing. So that's something to think about for prepping. And the other aspect to that is making sure you have bartering items as well. So in that type of situation, money is going to be pointless, because currency is only backed by the government that's currently running, and if it has any value to another person, money won't have hardly any value to anybody. It's not. But what's going to end up happening is money will be useless. It'll be items that can build things, items that cigarettes, tobacco, alcohol, food, water, building materials, tools, anything you can think of that could be made or used to survive. And so bartering items like that can get you a long way. So especially if you're not having to, if you actually do make contact with another group of people, like in The Walking Dead, most of the people are just trying to kill each other when they find other groups, and it's rare that you see people trying to barter or trade items. Everybody's so desperate to get more and more and more that they don't want to band together and work together. So that TV, well, it makes for good TV. That way there's always something exciting happening. But in real life, I think it would probably be a mix of both, where you'd have people then reestablishing trade for items and stuff like that, and basically it would be rebuilding the country the way it got built in the first place. Of course, there's going to be violence in between. There always is. Part of human nature. So yeah, that's my take on it for the beginning. I'm going to make another video on getting into more detail on certain things. So yeah, if you like what you see, please like and subscribe, and I'll try try to make the next video a little bit more entertaining. It's just I got a lot of stuff going on. It's the holidays and family and things are going on, and it takes time out of my time to make any kind of video or anything like that. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and stay safe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.